5 reasons why nurses quit their job. What is up, Healthcare Squad? Logan here with Healthcare Stress Relief, and in this video I'm going to be covering the top 5 reasons why nurses are quitting their jobs. If you're a nurse dealing with issues in the workplace, dealing with fatigue, burnout, dealing with not feeling like management and the hospital system has your back, then this video is for you. You are probably sick of not having enough staff, sick of not feeling like people are caring for you as much as you are caring for the patients in the institution. You are probably sick of leaders not stepping up to help you more. And most of all, you are probably sick of not feeling heard. Notice how I use the word sick over and over again. Why is it that our healthcare workers are actually the ones becoming sick, becoming burnt out, developing compassion fatigue, no longer enjoying the profession, that they went through all of this pain and all of this schooling to finally become a nurse, only to find out that they're being treated poorly and they're more susceptible to burnout and all of these other things that come with the profession. And the industry standard is going to have to change if it expects to keep us in the workforce, because more and more nurses are leaving bedside nursing, but our population is getting sicker and sicker. So what is going to happen if a mass exodus of nurses continues to occur? We're not going to have enough and the demand's going to go up. And I personally quit my first nursing job because of poor leadership, and my second nursing job because I burnt out. So I empathize with you if you have a lot of reasons why you want to quit, and I will be sharing this throughout the video of my own experiences of dealing with burnout and poor management and all of these things that we're about to cover. So stick around to the end of the video to get all 5 points, and comment below if you are currently struggling with any issues within your workplace, or if you have quit your nursing job already. Let us know below. Let's go ahead and dive in. Number one of the biggest complaints I see in the work that I do is poor staffing. Most nurses are complaining about this. Almost everyone in a hospital environment can agree that the staffing is most of the time, depending on the hospital, atrocious. And there are a lot of variables. Management and administration do have very tough jobs, but from what I have seen and experienced myself, a lot of the times the hospital systems are not covering the safety of the nurses and, most importantly, the patients. I know many of you are annoyed because you're overworked, and what ends up happening is you're pouring from an empty cup, and your patient therefore gets worse care. And a lot of the institutions, they just want money, and so you're probably very angry if that's the case, and you feel like they are just using you as a body, as a machine, to make more money. And you came into this profession to care for people, and so you're probably very angry if you feel that staffing is an issue. And in my own personal experience, one of the hospitals I worked at, the staffing was really difficult to manage, and almost everybody that I worked with complained about it, and there wasn't much done. So that's the first big complaint that I'm seeing from many of the people that I'm working with one-on-one, and from the nurses I used to work with. Number 2, toxic workplace and bullying. This is a huge issue in healthcare. Nurses eat their young. Why is that a thing? And I do have my own belief as to why that's a thing. A lot of the healthcare workers are so burnt out and so pissed off with getting into a profession where they begin to lose themselves, that they start to treat other people poorly. And I am a believer that some people are inherently nice, and even when they are burnt out, they can still be nice. But when you are at your wit's end, you have no sleep, you have started to develop conditions, you're stressed out, something else is going on in your interpersonal life, and you have to walk into work every day and work for maybe an employer that doesn't even care about you in your eyes, then the ugliness will come out. And so if you are the victim of bullying and a toxic workplace, know that you're not alone, but also stand up for yourself. And don't take it personally if someone is a bully, because at the end of the day, that's their issue. And you can even empathize if it's a coworker, like, hey, what's going on? And they'll be like, whoa, well, somebody actually cares about my own problems. Because if they're bullying you, oftentimes it's a sign that they have a lot of wounds that they're either trying to heal from, or they're just so messed up from all of it. So I know it's really hard, but try and empathize with these people, and do this by not taking anything they say personally. If they are bullying you, stand up for yourself. And this is actually something we cover in the Bye Burnout program. It is a new group program that I'm launching, especially for nurses. It's going to be a community-based program with fellow nurses to help you navigate all of the chaotic stuff that goes on in healthcare, all of the challenges, all of the pains. We're gonna fix you up, help you heal, because you may be a nurse who is hurt right now. Hurt by the system, feel like you are not aligned anymore, you want to quit completely. Oftentimes this can just be the excess stress and the burnout that's going on, and we need to take a step back and get a fresh perspective in order to chug along and enjoy our lives. So if that interests you at all, there will be a link below. You can check that out. You can book a call and we can see if I can help you. In my experience at the first hospital I worked at, we had 10 new grads that were hired by the manager. She wanted to bring in a bunch of young blood. I don't know why. And in 6 months, 8 of us left because of bullying and toxicity within the workplace. And this kind of toxicity, it can come in at any time. Your hospital may feel like it's immune because you have a really strong community, which we'll talk about, but there could be just one person that comes in and changes everything. I often joke that healthcare is kind of like the dark arts position in Hogwarts. There's a new teacher every single year and they get worse and worse. That's kind of the same with management in my eyes. The really good managers, they can't stay because it's like a cursed position because they're getting sandwiched by the nurses and the administration. So although we all talk about how management is really bad, if you're a manager out there, I'm sorry because you guys get it from both ends. You are just getting constantly bombarded, and I don't know how you guys do it. So thank you if you are a manager out there. Shout out to the manager. Number 3, lack of camaraderie. The cool thing about having coworkers that you trust and who are really tight-knit is the toxicity will usually bleed out. If you have a really tight-knit community, they won't allow that to happen. I've worked with doctors and nurses who were really strong and protective of people who were trying to put their own negativity and all of the stuff we talked about earlier into other people. And if you can find a workplace that has a really strong community, then a lot of the times these issues are going to be easier to talk about, the staffing, and you aren't going to burn out as quickly. So if you are going to do an interview or you're looking for a new position because you just quit your job, you need to really screen for any red flags that the community might be broken. Like you got to pull some nurses aside and ask them how the hospital is now compared to a couple of years ago. If they say it got worse, that's a red flag. Number 4 is the politics. This is in everything we do in everyday life. There's politics everywhere. But if you know, you know. I witnessed some pretty nasty politics in my first ever job as an ICU nurse, and was it ugly. Like it really flipped everything on its head in my own reality of like what this profession is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a lot of really empathetic people coming in to help people, and that's not always how it is when you start to see the politics. And I would always advise not to get involved in them, but if you're in certain institutions, you will start to see it. And one of my coworkers, she was very protective of the new grads, and one day she walked out to her car, which was a Mercedes-Benz, and all the tires were slashed. And this is speculation, but we believe that the management didn't like her sticking up for us because they liked having power. And so one of the monkeys got sent to do some bad work, and she ended up leaving, and all the new grads left with her because the politics were so bad. I know some of you guys have dealt with things like this, so go ahead and comment below what kind of crazy politics you've seen within your hospital institution so we can talk about it together. Number 5, poor leadership. Everyone will blame management, but we got to look at the whole entire institution. The administrators, if their whole entire hospital is built around just making money, that kind of leadership is going to go down to every single level. The manager is not going to really be able to focus on its staff because everyone else in the institution is just focused on money. And then the people who are actually doing the work, the nurses, are going to feel the brunt of it because there's going to be all of these budget cuts and less staffing, number 1. So if you are in a leadership position, I urge you to just keep working on your craft. Continue to become a better leader. Once you pick up the metaphorical book of leadership, it never ends. It is the journey of just becoming stronger and stronger. And part of being a leader is being an advocate for the people who are taking care of the patients. That's what a hospital institution is. I know we have to look at the bank account and count all the money and make sure we are getting profit, nonprofit hospitals. But at the end of the day, the institutions are here to heal humanity, heal our citizens, keep our people strong, keep our country strong. If we have a bunch of sick people who aren't getting taken care of well because everyone's burnt out, then I'm sorry to say, but we're fine. So if you are in a leadership position or you're going to step up to one, bless your soul. I know it is a very, very hard thing to do. And a lot of the things that I personally teach are leadership skills to the healthcare workers who are planning to step up. Because if nobody steps up, then the system does not change. And I'm here building a healthcare self-care army, an army of healthcare professionals who are ready to step up and start fighting this war for better rights for healthcare workers, for more camaraderie, for more community, for better pay, all of these things. So if you want to join the army, just join my email list. I got a free resource hub and everything, so you can jump into that. And I just want to say, if you are struggling right now, if you are wondering why you got into this career, if you are getting into your car at the end of work and crying because you just don't like it anymore, I feel you. I feel you. I've been there before. And I'm here to tell you there is hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to believe. I personally left the profession completely to go on a healing journey. I had eczema all down my body. My coworker committed suicide and I left the career. And I healed myself. And now I'm here to help you guys heal. Because we cannot continue to have sick healthcare workers. We have to get patched up and heal ourselves so that we can provide the best care for our patients. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, go ahead and check out this video over here, talking about burnout in healthcare, how we can reduce it, and how we can improve. Thanks for tuning in. Stay strong, Healthcare Squad. Ciao.